Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Good Follow. I'm Roz Goldonwoode, and we are coming to you live right now from Unrivaled in Miami, and we have the great pleasure of having one of the legends of the women's game, a Hall of Famer, legends of the WNBA, legends of the New York Liberty, an Olympian, all the accolades you could have, a 5-time All-Star in the W, and now the head coach for Team Vinyl at Unrivaled, the Teresa Weatherspoon. We got T-Spoon in the building.
I'm happy to be here. You know I'm happy to sit with you anytime.
I am always honored to have your presence and your insight on me. I mean, I remember when the league started and I was like a kid going to like extra media or player availability with the players and seeing you. You meant everything.
I appreciate that. Appreciate it so much.
So I was just at practice today.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where you just came from.
Yes.
Every time that I am at your Sunday practice, there's gospel music on. Mm-hmm. So how do you use music to set up the vibes and the tone for your practices in gym?
Well, for me, I'm a gospel listener every day. I really don't play anything other than it's my motivational piece. And with the group that I'm with every Sunday, it's not me that put it on. They put it on. They put the gospel on, and it's motivating for them too. You know, we understand where everything comes from for us. So we give him time too. Yeah. We give him time in our practices. We give him time in our locker room. We make sure that we give thanks. And that's the way that we give thanks every Sunday when we're practicing.
Yeah, there's a real peace and calm when I come, there's a real energy in your practices. And certainly that translates over to the court. You know, how's it been for you to get back to coaching at Unrivaled, especially after the surprise in Chicago?
Yeah, Raj, it has been refreshing for me. I think everyone tends to think about what happened in Chicago. And, I'm the first one to say I was shocked, surprised, hurt. I was all of those things because I didn't see it coming. Didn't see it coming at all. So I chose just to be quiet. I chose to be silent. I chose to move in my direction and not anyone else's direction. I chose not to speak the way I was spoken about. I chose not to do that. And there's a reason that I choose to be the way that I am, because that's my peace. And if I decide to be the way that you are, I lose my joy. I lose my peace. I give you consent to take from me. And I don't give consent. So I chose to be silent. I chose to be me, and I chose to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, players spoke up for you.
I'm thankful.
So you took the high road, and it was Angel Reese who came out publicly, one of the biggest platforms in women's sports, and spoke up for you. What does it mean that you get that kind of support from players? And I also know in New Orleans, everywhere you go, Zion, like players rock with you.
Well, I haven't spoken about any of this at all. But when you speak about the support that I've been given, the love that has been shown, the mad love that has been shown, and you talk about Angel hitting the platform and speaking up about how it was for me and what our relationship is like, it meant everything. You hear people say it meant the world, it meant everything. I'm looking at you to tell you so you can feel that it meant everything, because you start to wonder why. What was it? What could it have been? And when you have someone to stand with who she is and uses her platform and stand the way that she did, it meant everything to me, to my career, to what I've worked so hard for just one little thing like that could come in and destroy what you worked for. I think that was one thing that was standing out to me, is my career. I've worked hard. I've worked extremely hard, harder than what anyone could ever imagine. To be in the position that I'm in. I've taken bumps, bruises, hits. I've taken all of that, and I'm still standing. So in my eyes, you got to really hit me hard for me to fall. You got to hit me really hard for me to fall. And I'm not going to fall. I'm not going to break. I'm going to still stand. And when you have someone speaking up for you, the way that Angel came forth, the way that Zion came forth, the way the other players came forth, just the W in general, and all the fans who've known me for all my life, and especially my family. When they stood, I was fine. There's no way that I wasn't going to stay standing. Right. There's no way. You just find a way to move forward, knowing that when your chance comes, you stand in it. And my chance came here in Unrivaled. And I'm with an incredible team Mm-hmm. They are so great at what they do, incredible at what they do. But one thing that I like the most about them is they are still sponges. They still want more. And when you are that good at what you do and you want more every day, that says a lot about who you are. That says that you want to be coached as hard as you can be coached. And that makes it easy for me to walk into that arena every day with the peace and the joy and the calm that you see in the practice. It starts with them. Yeah. It starts with them of holding themselves accountable, not having to be held accountable, but they take themselves, hold themselves accountable to their actions. And it makes it easy for me to hold them accountable because once you gain a relationship, it's easy to have that conversation, the strongest and probably the deepest conversations. It makes it easy because now I know who you are and why you do what you do.
Spoon, one of the big topics today in this building, as everybody's been walking around, we are here in Miami. WNBA free agency. Oof. My gosh, have you been paying attention?
It's a woo wow.
It's a woo wow.
I mean, let me tell you, teams are putting this thing together. And I tell you this, and everybody's just gonna say I'm a little biased, but you normally do this when a team wins a championship. You take a look at how they built their roster, and then you take a look at your roster and say, how do I compete with that? And that's what I see. I see, teams really building their team to be able to compete with what the Liberty brings. And they're really stacking these teams, and it looks good. It looks good on paper, but now it's time to see what it's going to look like on the floor.
Right. So Spoon and I mean, obviously New York Liberty legend. I'm from New York. I'm calling the games. I help call the games with the Liberty. So I'm looking at the Liberty. Yeah, teams are trying to come for the champs right now.
And you're supposed to.
Right. As they did the Aces too, respect to all of these top teams.
Absolutely.
But Indiana got better fast.
Quickly.
Phoenix,
quickly,
Atlanta,
quickly,
arms race.
Yes.
Influx of new talent.
And I'm telling you, every one of them at this moment should be thinking championship. But as you're thinking championship, there's a way that it has to be done because of the talent that's there. It's one ball, so there's going to be a lot of sacrifice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that takes some time to mesh, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So look at what happened with the Liberty. For the most part, the Liberty kind of ran back the roster.
Yes.
There was a chance where we thought maybe they'd get splashy in free agency, and instead they stayed with continuity and consistency. Yeah. But the other side, we're seeing other teams that just added talent. So what do you think about the process and approach of the Liberty, who looked at their roster and kind of doubled down on them?
Build a dynasty. Why break it up? Why break it up? You don't. If it's still going and it's going at a very high level, why break it up? You don't break it up. You go ahead and build that dynasty. And that's what I think they want to do, is build a dynasty with who they have in place right now. Of course, they're probably trying to find just this piece and that piece to add to it. Of course, they know what they want, but they're building a dynasty by keeping everybody together.
Yeah. From a player perspective, I mean, you were dominant for so long. How important is continuity?
It's probably the most important thing. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you can't gain that continuity and that chemistry, there's an issue. There's a problem. And I think that's what the Liberty has, probably over everyone else right now, because all these teams who's bringing in all these incredible, talented young women, it's going to take a minute to come together. Yeah. But the Liberty, they know one another. They have it. So all they're going to do is get a little bit better and a little bit better, a little bit better. And then everybody else is trying to come and match that.
Yeah. And during that championship run too, I was on the court in Barclays after Game 5 when the Liberty won. Yeah. I immediately saw you. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
I immediately saw you on the sidelines. You were with Swin Cash. You were with Angel Reese. I saw you. I mean, you kind of ooze the emotions. You were tearing up, and the streamers are coming down. And you, as a player, Spoon, you got this franchise so close. What did it mean to you to see the New York Liberty finally, after 28 years, break through and be a WNBA champion?
You know, when the confetti started to come down, I could remember it not coming down for us and trying to get out of it, trying to just get out of it because you're so hurt at the moment. So you just want to get out of it. But as it was coming down this time, I didn't want to move. I didn't want to move. And I was so proud of each one of them to take the history of the New York Liberty, to take it and run with it. And then celebrate with us. That I'll never forget that. I will never forget that they brought us in to celebrate with them, whether it was on the floor with them, in the background with them, and then on floats with them. I'll never forget that.
That meant a lot.
That meant everything to us, and we still talk about it. Still, that meant everything. That was them. They won it. They went out blood, sweat, and tears in that uniform. They did that in front of the crowd and got the crowd behind them. They did that and have celebrities sitting there watching them, coming to watch them, and Ellie did too. Ellie,
Ellie the
you got to put Ellie in. So all that they did, they recognized us from before. Yeah. Come on. That meant everything. Yeah. That tells me, it told us who those young women were in that uniform. Not just as players, but who they are as people. Yeah. They know about their history, and they brought us in with it.
Yeah. You know, there's so much love, not only from the players currently to the past players and all that. I mean, just in the building at Barclays, the fan base, not even just Liberty fans, all of W fans. There was a moment that went viral. It was during a playoff run. It was at Barclays. It was pretty soon. It was after, you know, the breakup with Chicago for you. Yes. And you were in the building and they show you on the Jumbotron and the place erupts. I mean, they loved on you on the Jumbotron. What did it mean to you in that moment, that, like, getting that kind of reception from New York?
If I sit here and think about it too much, I might tear again. The one thing that I know about New York City and the people in New York City, they know who I am. They know who I am. They know what I give. They know what I bring. They know I live by holding myself first accountable and then everybody else around me. So they knew. They knew everything that was said about me. No, they knew. But for them to recognize me the way that they did that night and the things that I was going through at that moment, the anger that I had, the frustration that was over me, the why that was over me, and for them to do what they did, it was gone. It was gone immediately for me at that time, because the love has never left. Recognizing who I am as a person, forget basketball, because I love people and I'll put people before myself to a fault. And then for fingers always to turn in the opposite direction, New York made me feel different.
Yeah. I remember the moment. I was emotional seeing it. And I actually think I saw it on social. I'm not sure if I was even at that game. But you deserve so much of that, Spoon.
I didn't know what to do. If you look at it, if you watch it over again, I didn't know what to do. Do I stand? I didn't know. And I've always been in the know in New York. I stand immediately. I recognize them as they recognize me, because there couldn't be any me without them. It wouldn't be me without them if they didn't accept me for who I am as a player and as a person. So I didn't know what to do at the moment. If you look back at it, it's like, is she going to stand? What is she going to do? What is she going to do? Yeah. I didn't know. I just wanted them to know at that time, let me get up to let them know I thank you at this moment more than I ever have in my life. I thank you.
Well, you are a part of women's basketball history. I mean, you were, when the WNBA started in 97, you were a player there. Now as a coach, 2025, you're here for another beginning of a league. Wow. So you saw the beginning of the W, now you're here for the beginning of Unrivaled. Yes. How does the momentum and impact and attention compare in these moments in time?
You know what I've thought about with that is, starting in the W, you're a pioneer. So there's things that you have to help to grow, to better, to change. And that's what we were doing in the W, to make sure that it was correct for our younger women to come, because we wanted this thing to last forever. So we wanted to do it in the right way. So coming into Unrivaled, I'm feeling the same way.
Really?
To make sure that I'm letting them know, okay, now you're pioneers of this league. Now you're pioneers of this league. So now you have to pay attention to what must change, what must be better, and what must grow for the next ones to come. So it's the very same thing that I thought when it happened in the W, to now bringing it to Unrivaled, to make sure they understand what you must do for it to last for the next ones to come.
So what comes next for Spoon, if you can even imagine? Is it about continuing to find the next coaching position where you can be in this role? Is it about something else for you?
The one thing I want the world to know about me is I'm not just a basketball player. I'm not just a basketball coach. There's more to me than what anyone has ever seen or even know. So you never know what path God has for me. You never know. All I do is remain ready. I remain obedient. I do my work. I still be who I am. and I trust and believe in who God is in my life, it's going to lead me to my next step. And when I step into that next step, all the hits that I've taken, I'm just going to walk in with a smile, knowing that whatever it is that where he places me the next time, it's my place. Mm-hmm. It's my place. But I'm not worried about what's next. I just want to have myself prepared to be ready for what's next.
That's a bar. That's a word. Spoon, anytime I sit with you, I feel very lucky to gain some knowledge and just a perspective on life. Thank you for the time.
But I want to say this, because being around all the players here has been excellent. Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm with Lionel and Enrique, Ryan, De'Erica, Ray, Jordan, and the little Boston. They have been a rock for me. Mm. And I said to them, and I shared this with them in the locker room, is you all think that it's me pouring into you, but you all are pouring into me. You all are keeping me on my toes of being creative and innovative and staying sharp with what I must do to remain great at what I do. Mm-hmm. So my job for you is to go and be creative, be innovative, and bring it back to you. So we're all pouring into one another. Mm-hmm. We're all remaining great with one another. Yeah. I just want to make sure that what we give to them every single day, what I try to give to them every single day, mm-hmm. that it is sustained success. Mm-hmm. That whatever they carry from me, whatever they might get from me, that it's everlasting. Yeah. That's all I want. I want it to be everlasting for them, because I want to see them succeed.
Yes. It's very clear. And it's a two-way street. Thank you, Spoon.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate the time.
I appreciate you. Thank you for just allowing that little piece to be spoken about who I am as a person.
Yeah, it was important to get this out today, huh?
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, Spoon.
Thank you.